sometimes women can be very self-critical as well. They put unrealistic pressure on themselves. Financial literacy is very low. Just because someone can speak English doesn't mean they understand finances. Millions of women heading towards retirement in poverty. They have any questions, they would go and ask friends and family members, but don't seek the guidance that what actually they should do. I talk to so many women, specifically single mother, and provide them financial advice.
I find a lot of men, they are quite comfortable.
Right, that's right.
Going to a financial advisor.
Correct, yeah.
Do you see the same comfort level with women?
Fear of not having enough money, so they have to stay in the relationship.
Or something really bad to happen.
Right, okay.
It's like something really catastrophic to happen before they actually start seeking out financial advice. Hello Arpita ji, how are you?
Namaskar Kushagra ji, I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Yes, pretty good. Long time meeting you after like almost couple of years.
No, I think we haven't met since COVID probably.
Yes.
We spoke many times, sir, on the phone. Yes, but yes, it's been a long time.
Yes, it's been a long time, and we have had some great conversations over the phone, and that's why I just thought, like, I had a couple of things which people ask me, and which I can Google, but I just thought maybe I should speak to an expert. And you have had a long journey in Australia. You have been a content creator, you have been a Reiki teacher, you are a life coach,
yes,
and on top of all, a financial advisor.
Yeah, it's been 9 years now. Yes,
Okay.
I've just completed 9 years as a financial advisor in Australia. Yeah, and had probably thousands of conversations with many Australians. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So when you speak about this term conversation, there's one thing which I've always it's been on my mind for for a very long time. There are some difficult conversations, and I find that a lot of people find it really difficult to have conversation around funds, finances, and money, and especially when women.
I think I come across that very often. Well said, that's right. First of all, actually, not just women, in Australia, in general, people don't like to talk about money. And that could be because of the family, what parents teach us, or never tell anybody about your income, never talk about how much you're earning, how many assets you have, if you're having problem. There are many other reasons, but these are basically this is the foundation why people don't talk about it. And then on top of the women, that why women don't talk about finances. They naturally, because finance is not a subject in school. They never teach us that how to deal with our money. They teach maths, science, geography, all those different subjects, but never a finance. So what happens is that because it's never taught, so whatever people learn, it's through their families, their friends, and what they show on TV. Right? So there is no specific subject which is taught in school. So that's one reason. The second reason is why women specifically don't talk about finances is they feel the fear of judgment.
What kind of judgment?
That somebody will judge me if I make a mistake. Or if I ask question, people will judge me and say, oh, she doesn't even know this much. She's fool. So that's how, not just women, even men as well, that's how sometimes they feel. And that's the reason they don't ask the relevant questions, what they should be asking. Then other thing is sometimes women feel that, okay, my husband is looking after the finances, so I don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
Then I see here, and these are the common reasons I always hear, that sometimes women can be very self-critical as well, that they criticize themselves sometimes, that, oh, I should know. They put unrealistic pressure on themselves because they want to be perfect. But there is no such thing as a perfection, right? Everybody has to start from somewhere. So don't remove the baggage of being perfect. And I think you will open the full new dimension.
People who are migrants, where you see this hesitation, from which sort of community or cultural background, this hesitation comes more prominently?
I think it's across Australia, I would say, not just in Asian cultures or South Asian culture from India and Pakistan or Nepal or any of those ones. But in Australia, what I have seen throughout this my journey, that a lot of times people they just feel that look, financial literacy is very low, and the reason why I have told you that it's not taught in school.
The literacy might be 100%, but financial literacy
Financial, correct.
is
Financial literacy. Just because someone can speak English doesn't mean they understand finances. And there's nothing wrong with that. For example, if there is something wrong with my body, if I'm not feeling well, I would go to the doctor, specialist, right? But I would not necessarily study the medicine.
right.
That what medicine should I take? I would just rather rely on the professional. But the issue is sometimes people think that whatever we know is enough, so we don't have to go and see a financial advisor. Why do we spend that much money? Right. So yeah, but I have seen that in Australia. And also, look, if we talk about the financial literacy, 37% of Australians, and this is not, I'm not saying it, I did not make up this number. Actually, these numbers are released on Channel 9 Facebook page. Anyone can probably go and see. So it was last year sometimes, and they said 37% of Australians don't have emergency funds. Then they said another post was about millions of women heading towards retirement in poverty. So what does this show? Right? That it means that people are not aware enough about their finances. It means sometimes they are earning and they are spending. They have any questions, they would go and ask friends and family members, but don't seek the guidance that what actually they should do. And I see that more often, and that's what I have seen in my career so far. Yes.
So what you're saying is 37%, that's almost like every third woman needs financial guidance.
And it's not just the women, it's 37% Australian, so that's men and women both. Yeah.
So it's a myth, that men are more financially savvy. It's the data shows actually this malaise or this problem is across the board, across the community.
Correct.
Like almost every third person is actually in need of financial literacy, because there is a huge population which is heading towards poverty.
Yes.
Post retirement. So what I find is, like, this is my personal experience, that when it comes to financial understanding, a lot of men, they are quite okay to have that conversation. But how do you find this with women? Are they okay to have these conversations, or is it something that they hold it back, and it's only when something goes terribly wrong, then only they get into these uncomfortable discussions of money?
Look, it's changing for sure. A lot of more and more women are coming out there, and I talk to so many women, specifically single mother, and provide them financial advice. But that's not the only area I always focus. It's just naturally they come to me, because I think as a woman, they feel more comfortable talking to another woman.
Right.
So that's why it's really important. The other thing is, what was the question you were talking about? Sorry, I'll just so that I can go back.
Now, my question is that, like, I find a lot of men, they are quite comfortable.
Right, that's right.
Going to a financial advisor.
Correct, yeah.
Do you see the same comfort level with women, or is it something which has to trigger them to something really bad to happen?
Right, okay.
It's like something really catastrophic to happen before they actually start seeking out financial advice.
Yes, so there are multiple reasons actually. So I'll give you a couple of examples for that. So I have a woman, or I would say a lady, came to me in early 30s. So single mother, so it means recently separated, and she started feeling anxiety about money, because maybe there would have been the main pain point in the conversation between husband and wife. That could be one of the reasons. So when she came to me, what we did first, we wanted to make sure that she first starts feeling comfortable about comfortable talking about money. So we didn't start with the major subject investing. What we did is to make sure that she's comfortable talking about it. So we started focusing on cash flow, budgeting, working on the emergency funds, how where the money is coming from, where the money is going, all those basic small things which she wanted to feel more comfortable with and get used to it. Then other thing we focused on, we had a look at her superannuation and check how is it invested, what sort of contribution she is getting, all those things. Then we also made sure, because she is a single mother, we made sure that she is well protected, so that she can then, so if something happens to her, whether it is disability or permanent disability or temporary, cannot go to work due to illness or injury, she is very well covered. So it means her mortgage will be paid off, the son's education will be taken care of, and her ongoing expenses would be taken care of as well. So after a year, she started, because I was having a regular conversation with her, after a year, she started feeling naturally more confident, and
Right.
she started talking about money. So I think what I'm trying to say here is, yes, women naturally sometimes don't come out and say, I want to talk about it, because that's what we have been taught, probably. But if you have that support, and that some event happens which triggers them to come out and talk about it. Another example is, there was a woman in probably early 50s, she was. And what, so her situation was, she was just getting through on a day-to-day basis, like week to week, month to month. So her concern was, okay, I'm just tired, basically. She was a single mother, divorced, and had two children. So she was supporting her children with the education and everything. She was actually paying her own expenses, mortgages, plus groceries, bills, everything. Children were not grown up enough, so of course they could not contribute to family income. So, and she was just getting through. So she was in a survival mode, basically. And it happens with many Australians. They live week to week, fortnight to fortnight, month to month pay, right? On that basis. So what we did was, first we thought, here there is a need to change the mindset first, that you can't be just in a survival mode if we plan it properly, and we can create a nice strategy for you. So not just thinking that, or hoping and wishing it will work out, but have a solid plan in place, because numbers would speak. So if you put numbers on table, it would speak that, okay, what goes where, and if something is happening now financially, then there is a solid reason behind it. So if we change the pattern, automatically things will start shifting. So the one good thing, she came to us, and she came to me, we provided a financial advice. So what we did was, we again, cash flow is the king. Budget, that's, you can start from that, and we will talk about that later, what are the things we can do or women can do to start somewhere. But that's one thing. So we did look at the cash flow, we did look at her superannuation, because her another concern was that, what will, at the moment I'm earning, what will happen if I stop earning, right? So
Right.
we made sure that she is covered well with the insurance perspective. People think that insurance is not important, people think that insurance is expensive, but trust me, I assure you that when the accident happens, when the illness comes, um, you will not think about how much premium you have paid. You will think about that, I'm glad I have the insurance, so I don't have to worry about the money. Then another thing is the retirement. So what she was concerned about. So what we did was to make sure that whatever is her current situation, how much she is earning, how many years she has between now and retirement. So she did not even know, she didn't even think about it, because she thought she has to constantly continue to work because she can't support herself. So, but that's not true. So what we did was, first we started discussing the retirement age. Then once we got to that discussion, she decided that, okay, I want to retire at this particular age. Then what we did was, okay, on basis of today's details, how much she will have if she does not do anything, how much she will have in superannuation by the time she retires.
Right.
So then, and with that balance in retirement, how that amount will support her regular income, because she has to get an income from somewhere.
Correct.
and that income would come from that super account. Government would also give the age pension, but I normally suggest that please try to build your super as much possible so that you don't have to rely on government, because the rules can change at any time. So make sure
And they have been changing. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So you have to be self sufficient. So then once we had those figures, I showed it to her, and then I said, okay, let's make small change in your contribution, not massive change depending on her income. So it's always whatever the contribution someone would like to make, always seek financial advice or talk to your super fund, and then take the decision so that you can make the right type of contribution. That's also important. So we made all these small changes and provided the advice. And couple of years later, I mean, we do the review on a yearly basis, but couple of years later, she said, look, this is fantastic. Now I know that I will be well looked after in retirement. I don't have to worry about my income, that where will it come from when I retire. So I think that's very powerful, and I feel it's a transformational story, that someone who was just in a survival mode with the right strategy is excited about the retirement and the future.
Taking the right decision
Yes.
is the operative word. It is about taking that decision. When I think about this word decision, I come across some women, single mothers who are separated, divorced. There are also instances where some women are in marriage or relationship,
Yeah.
and they are not in a happy relationship and they want to come out. And some of them have discussed with me that financial reason is the reason,
Yes.
that they are quite financially dependent on their partners, that they are not able to think about leading a better life, or rather come out of a relationship which is unhappy for them.
Yes.
Do you come across these kind of cases, and if and what exactly they should be doing? Because you just mentioned in a couple of years' time, if things get transformed, in such a positive way. So there are women who are kind of stuck in a no man's land.
Yeah.
And they are not able to make better decisions for themselves, for their life, just because they don't have, as you mentioned, financial literacy. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, so I have definitely seen many cases. One of them always, I remember that very clearly. Few years back, I was having a conversation with this woman, and we started talking about the bank account. And this is during the time when the COVID hit, and government said that you're allowed to withdraw $10,000 from your account. So I was talking to that lady, and she says, I would like to withdraw money from my account, $10,000. So from super account.
Right, okay.
So then we said, okay, no problem, you can. But the thing is, you have to actually provide your bank account details, complete this form and basic formalities, which was decided by the government. So then she said, I don't have a bank account under my own name. And I found that very shocking. That we are talking about Australia, women living in Australia, if they don't even have their own bank account, that talks about there is something seriously need to be considered or taken care of, or we need to talk about it more often.
So what happened
then? Then we said that, look, you have to have a bank account under your name in order to withdraw money. So eventually she managed, but she had to have few conversation with her husband, not just one, few conversations. So financial abuse can be one of those major reason why women don't speak about. The other thing is the fear of not having enough money, so they have to stay in the relationship. They sometimes witness the domestic violence as well, and that they are heartbreaking stories. So we are not talking about someone highly educated woman, or someone who is just completed the schooling, got married straight after that, and didn't get an opportunity to study much. It's just happening in the society overall.
Right.
And what can be done about it? I think as a woman, I can surely say that more and more women have to support each other, and don't be afraid of asking the question, because if there is a huge baggage women carry, it's like, I need to know everything, I should be perfect. You don't have to be perfect. right? Because and no one is perfect. Not women and not men. Not any men are they perfect. Far from perfect, right?
Yeah, we
So
are we are fooled into believing
so it's nothing
practice
about
makes a
you,
man perfect.
Kushagraji, but in general, right? So they have to come out of that thinking, and a lot of women who succeeded with the financial planning, that is, and they made a good future for themselves and strong financial future for themselves. They are not. It's not because they were very well educated, not because they had a solid, strong financial background, uh, but it is because they dared to ask the question. They came out of their comfort zone and said, okay, if I don't know, I'm not going to hide behind the doors. I am going to go out and ask the question, and I will seek guidance when necessary. And it is always good to seek guidance when you are unsure, because for example, if someone is coming to me for financial advice, that is my day-to-day job, so I would be aware of what's happening with the laws and legislation, how I can put you in a better financial position, right? So my job is not to judge anyone. So let's say if I'm feeling unwell, I would go to the doctor and I will tell the doctor exactly what is happening. I will not feel shy that, oh, how can I tell this to the doctor? The doctor can only help me if I tell the issues I'm facing right now. So similarly in financial planning as well, when the client comes to us, it's important whether it is man or woman, but they have to get out of the comfort zone and ask without being shy.
So if someone who is in a bad relationship and finance is the reason which is holding them back to come out of that bad relationship, as a financial advisor, you can help. There is help available.
Yes, we can provide financial advice to them for sure. Yeah, we can have a look into it, but first she has to decide that they want a financial advice, right? So, and if you want, we can also discuss that what are the things women can do to start today, right? So, and please make sure this is just the general advice only. Please do not consider this as a personal financial
I'm sure
advice.
the disclaimer would be there.
Please, yes. So, look, number one thing they should start from is know your numbers. Like, know your numbers, have the awareness about it. So, what I mean is sometimes we feel that, oh, I have seen that, let's say if there is a less money in bank account or less money in super, people often avoid looking at it because they think anyways it's less money, why should I look at it? But don't attach the emotion with when you are looking at those numbers. So just look at it out of curiosity, that how does it look? All right, so do I own a house or do I rent? So have a look at that first. That's okay. If I'm renting, okay, from the income coming in, how much goes towards rent, my basic necessities, and how much I'm saving, right? How much money is coming in, how much money is going out. So look at those numbers. So you can look at your bank account balance, you can look at your super account balance. Then you can have a look at how your money is invested in superannuation and all. We'll come to that later, but just look at the balance on a regular basis, not every week, or I'm saying, but at least once in few months, right? Then check what are your total assets. If something happens, what do you have in asset, whether it's jewelry, whether it's any asset you have. Then you can check your insurances. If the sudden illness or injury comes, are you protected well enough?
Yeah, I think specifically to insurance, a lot of people actually ignore insurance. Tell me some real hardcore benefits of insurance. Like, how can insurance help? If you can give me some specific examples, what are the things where you have seen insurance actually saving people?
Sure. So let's say a family, husband, wife, 2 children. Normally that's the ideal situation. Let's say husband, and normally husband is the main income earner, right? Primary income earner. If they have young children, normally women work part-time looking after the household. If he passes away, he is the main income earner. Wife is working part-time. Now kids are young. How is she going to manage the mortgage payment, the education cost, and ongoing living cost? What is she going to do? So that's where it's really important for both of them to have an insurance. But if someone is a primary income earner, it's extremely important because their household depends on the family depends on them, right? So that's why it's really important to have that. So when someone has the life insurance, what we do is make sure that have enough cover so the mortgage is paid off. So that's the biggest expenses out of the door. Second thing is we cover kids education well. So that means that any education between now and until the kids are 18 years of age or finish schooling, they are covered. So then the woman or person who's left behind don't have to worry about where the money is going to come from. And children don't have to compromise on their education, right? Ongoing expenses. Let's say husband passed away, wife is there, children are young. She may feel that I want to stay home because she had an emotional, like a huge loss. So she wants to stay home and look after the kids and just get settled in the new life now because she has to start dealing with the situation, right? Start having the conversation which she never had before. So in that case, if when we design the insurance, if we give 1 or 2 years of buffer income, so then she has that choice whether I want to go back to work part-time or I want to take a break. So that's why it's really important to have a right cover. So that's for the life insurance. Other insurance is total and permanent disablement. We call it TPD. If someone gets the disability, now they did not pass away, they're still alive. So income stopped. So what happens is what we cover, and then their medical expenses as well, because they are still alive, they have the disability. There would be some home renovation to be done. Car have to be different probably, just so that they can walk around in the house properly. All right. So in that case, they would require extra money. So what we cover is typically pay off the mortgage. So that's out of the way. Look after the kids' education and everything, ongoing expenses. Plus on top, we extra add some extra cash for their medical treatment.
Right.
Then another third type of insurance is trauma cover, which is normally don't offered by Superfund. You have to have it outside. But trauma cover is, let's say someone gets the heart attack, someone gets a stroke or a cancer. In these type of situation, person is not disabled. They can recover and they can go back to work. So in that situation, they can have a lump sum. We can have a lump sum cover for them so that can support them during that time of the treatment. They can pay for the treatment.
Right.
And then the last one is the income protection. That's the fourth type of cover. Income protection comes into picture when someone cannot work due to temporary illness or injury. They can claim the income protection. But now there are different moving features you need to be careful of when you are applying for it. That's why it's best to if you want to have it through if someone wants to have it through Superfund, they can actually talk to their Superfund, or I highly recommend financial advice, so that we make sure that you have the right cover in place. So what things to be considered when having the income protection is waiting period and benefit period. So waiting period could be 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. These are the basic ones with super funds. And then if you go outside super, then it's 2 years, up to 2 years as well. So what it means is basically that when the event occurs, so first 30 days, you can't make a claim. So you can make a claim after that. And then you can start getting payment from that day 31, basically, after you finish the waiting period, after someone finishes the waiting period. So that's why it is important to have the emergency funds. Right. So that's another thing. The other feature is the benefit period. With the benefit period, it's 2 years, 5 years, up to 65 years of age. So it depends. Superannuation normally don't give up to 65 years of age. 2 years or 5 years they would make it available. But I think it's important, if it is a long term issue or illness, then it's best to have an appropriate cover, so that someone can get 70% of their monthly or fortnightly income paid. So that would give them a peace of mind that at least some income would continue to come for me. So that's about the insurance. And coming back to the other topic we were talking about, what other things women can do.